All right, man. We are back, dude. We are back. It is our next iteration of Let's Talk About the Contestants. So, in our last episode of this sort of look back, look ahead, we ended with Mark, and now I want to move into talking about the rest of our contestants. I have two more, and then we want to see where that takes this conversation. So, let's talk about Donnie. I'm not Donnie. Cory.
Yep.
And Cory Warfield. And I didn't know Cory to shake a tree at. I'm like, okay, who's this guy? Right. And Jen turned us on to him, and they're business partners, and said, okay, I've got this guy who tells a story about installing the element of love into AI. And interestingly enough, it takes me back to my fitness days. I would learn about something in the industry, and then 6 to 8 months later, you'd hear about it. And we learned about that. And 6 to 8 months later, you start hearing about all these different nuances to programming AI and trust triggers, and AI is as good as it is flawed. And what about emotion and teaching AI or teaching this divine intelligence how to operate from a certain standpoint? I mean, I think they're even with their company, Loving is AI. I think with their company, they're even like using AI as the CEO. So, or the fractional CEO at some point, just to kind of help neutral decision making, which I think is kind of ironic. Talk about working yourself out of a job. It's like, wait a minute here. So, Cory is a visionary. And I have another AI story for you while we're at it. And this will be a sidebar, but I really feel like we should talk about it while we're being topical. So, Cory's a visionary, and Cory was talking about all this ethereal raising money, raising capital. I mean, to do AI, it's in the tens of millions apparently. Just pouring money, pouring money, pouring money, pouring capital, blah 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 blah. It's just nonstop, right? And he went. We had to challenge that guy to get more tactical in certain areas, a little less ethereal in other areas, and then he had to wrangle his team in. Remember that? I mean, did you? What was your take? I mean, I don't know how. I didn't love Cory in the beginning. I thought he was kind of cocky, and then I realized I misread the guy completely. So his transformation was pretty incredible. So what do you think?
I think it goes back to there was some coaching that Cory accepted. The fun part about this in the beginning, when Cory said, "Yeah, I want to be part of this and do it," he gave us the precursor of, "I don't think I'm coachable. I do not think I'm coachable. I'm gonna," and he set all these grandiose limiting beliefs down of how he was going to be a pain in the butt and not coachable, wasn't going to change, wasn't going to listen, but he did. But he did, right? He found some of the things that were going on relative that he had not seen. He understood the coaches saw his blind spots in there. One of them was Cory's an incredibly intelligent individual. He has an amazing vocabulary. He has a Oxford level vocabulary. The
Mhm.
trouble is most of the people he's dealing with don't. So he spent a lot of time talking way above them and just so much bigger. And we all know people like that. We all know people like that. And he made some adjustments through the season. And for that, I do believe the product they're building, and as we see it develop through this season, I think the product is being influenced by that as well. I think he's doing a great job with it. It's amazing. And like you guys are going to watch a company being born and have an AI board of directors. You guys are going to see that happen during this season. And it was when he told Mike and I about this in the beginning, we were just wide eyed, like, what are you even talking about? What are we building? And it happened quickly, systematically, intelligently, and it's going to work.
Yeah. So that was Cory, right, in a nutshell. And I enjoyed his illumination. I enjoyed the AI illumination. I enjoyed other people going to see him for some coaching ideas, and you'll see the harmony. I'm not going to give any details, but you'll start to see some intercontestant harmony as the show goes, and I think we should dive into that. So while we're on AI, before we get to our last contestant, I was in the store looking for football cleats the other day son. And when I was in Dick's Sporting Goods, and I'm a huge fan of Dick's Sporting Goods. I mean, just the pricing, the availability, the willingness of the staff. A huge fan, huge fan. And having 3 kids in sports, I'm a big fan. We go there looking for football cleats. So we go back to the shoe section, and young lady greets me. Hi, how can I help you? I said, hey, we're looking for football cleats. Okay, over here on this wall is youth, and over here on that wall is whatever the kiosk thing is over here. Check it out. Check it out. This woman then says, okay, well, let me show you what we have. And she sends me to this iPad. And it's like an iPad. We'll call it a tablet. And the tablet had an AI program on it where it showed you what was in, what was not in, if you had to switch to an online order. So essentially, what they're doing is and the woman programmed it. She's like, I programmed this. I taught this AI, so it knows me. Wow, that's crazy. So I don't know if they're working themselves out of a job or into a job, but essentially what you're doing now is you're looking at the stock on a 8x8 iPad, and you're picking around some things, and you push the button and they bring it out to you. Talk about quick, easy, revolutionary, and wow, right? You can pick any size you want. They have shoe sizers everywhere over there.
Nice.
I just feel like even if we're at that level from a shoe selection process with AI, everything should be at some point. I feel like there's going to be emotion with AI. There's got to be. Because if I have AI in my business, you have AI in your business, and my AI is nicer than your AI, you're going to want to come to my store over your store. I mean, I realize this is a crazy nuanced tangent before we get into our next contestant, but the idea is not so far-fetched of installing emotion into AI. Talk about being very far down the road. Um, I thought, wow, what a superior idea. So let's. What do you have to say about that, Jake? I mean, do they have any
So I,
AI?
I agree with that. I mean, while we're talking about AI, so we've got some sponsor partners that you're gonna see this season that we've got some great discount codes you guys are going to be able to use. Click on those links, and they're all business building tools. They're based in AI. We have a bunch of different stuff. We have some physical things as well that we want to see, but like we've got I want to say 9 that are out there that we've got different things like Pipe Drive is one of them, Hubzu is one of them, and Shopify is one of them, one of our sponsors, and ChatGPT.ai is one of our sponsors. And we have a couple others that are out there as well that are helping to drive our businesses. They're helping drive the contestants' businesses. Plus, you're going to be able to get the links to their businesses to be able to do business with contestants. You're also going to get the links to all the coaches, so you can sign up and do if there's coaching programs you want to do, and you can also partner with us and do different things with us and wherever you would like to do that to grow your business, to scale your business. But to Mike's point in AI, the question is in AI right now, and I know that's not what we're talking about, but the question in AI right now is AI going to replace employees, or, and this is how I feel about it, and you'll see Cory and I have some conversations about this through the season. If an employee is gifted and is using AI, they are irreplaceable. That's my theory. That if the employee embraces AI and they use it as a tool and they become much more efficient, then they are irreplaceable. AI will not be able, this is me saying it, AI will not be able to replace the person using AI. AI will replace a person not using AI.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. So,
Well,
look for the tools that we're using that are making our lives better, that are making our businesses run more seamlessly in the way that they do. We've got some great discount codes for you as you're watching the show. You can also grab them on our website, www.total-disruption.com. All of our sponsors and affiliate partners are on there. Click through there, use the links to get your discounts, sign up, do the thing. So,
all
so yeah,
right.
let's talk about Sam. Let's round this out. Let's talk about Samantha. Probably
So
our creative, if you will, in this particular season.
Samantha was creative and near and dear to my heart, and she kind of was a fringe. I don't know that she understood enough how to use our assets as best she could. She's in the music and entertainment business, and the music lessons and entertainment lessons business, and she grew a space, tried to grow a space, and then tried to grow a nationwide thing, and then tried to grow the teaching. She was kind of like one of these entrepreneurs that was all over the place, but was hell bent on brick and mortar, hell bent on growing this and growing that. And she got a bunch of digital ideas out of us, digital ideas, expansion ideas, things that didn't require rent, things that didn't require storage of materials and hard goods, right? I don't know now. I mean, listen, you got to watch a show to figure it all out, but she had, I think, one of the better evolutions just in an entrepreneurial journey. I watched her get a little bit more mature and become a little bit more real and become a little bit more grounded. And I saw this side of the service business, the lessons service, well, we'll call it musical coaching business, that was very reflective of our industry. And a lot of people out there that are coaches, or a lot of people out there that are, tutors or teachers or for hire type folks, would probably get a lot of value out of watching what Samantha did, and her coaching experience and her growth and her story, her drive. What do you think?
I agree with that. And it's what I hope, and again, we're not giving things away on this. Like, I'm still wondering, and of course, I already know the answer because we've seen the whole thing. Like, I'm wondering where Samantha's going to fall because of the creative dynamic that she has. There is, and I want people to watch it from hey, I'm a creative, I'm a creator. Watch what it looks like to run a business too. And are you the right person to be doing it? Or do you need to fire yourself in that CEO role? You can be the creative and hire somebody to run the business. You can be a creative and hire a CFO. Mike and I have talked about this before on our show of there's long been a who's the first person you hire in your business. And typically that's an assistant that people want to hire or a lead gen service. I don't think it is. I think it's a bookkeeper. I think the first person you hire in your business should be a bookkeeper. You should farm it out every time, unless your business is bookkeeping, in which case then you need to hire a lead generation person. That's fine. But
Right.
that's what I want to kind of leave you guys with Samantha is what will, I think it's a who that's going to grow Samantha's business. I don't think it's a what. I think it's a who.
Yeah, I think it's a who. And looking at business growth, uh, sometimes when we talk about it, we've educated our contestants on, who do you know? Who do they know? When you're meeting somebody, it's who. And a lot of times in the entrepreneurial space and in the life growth space, it's who. Who do you go to shortcut information? Because that's really what everyone is, right? They're aggregators, right? They shortcut. Boom. They organize in a little sliver. Bang. Because they open up a whole world. I always look at it like when you see those, transformational tunnels in movies where somebody goes to a really narrow space, things are flying by, whoop, and they come out the other side. Well, that's basically what coaching in a nutshell is, and that's what all these people are doing is they're trying to take a piece of information, compress it to create more linear trajectory in that vein, and bang, you come out the other side. And obviously you're not an expert, but you're more informed. Like we'll use Mark for example, or Samantha. You need to learn how to play an instrument. Come in, shoot, compress, do, bang, you're out the other side. Then it's your job to get more of the lessons or less as a user, right? And as an entrepreneur, all you're really doing is trying to get more people and either more services and more people and duplicate that experience and refine the experience. Refine the beginning, refine the middle, refine the end, right? Refine the message, refine, attract, serve, grow, impact. That's basically in a nutshell. Like how Dan Kennedy, a legendary marketer, I was reading a little excerpt from him one of these days a while back, and he said, how do you become the number one name in your space? How do you become the number one name in your space? Like when you say, I need a tissue versus Kleenex. I need a Kleenex. Well, Kleenex are tissues. Tissues aren't Kleenex.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I need a, I don't know, I need a Budweiser. Now I need a beer. Right? Like how do you as a person become that space? So let's say, what is the first store? I'm going to ask a rhetorical question for the audience. When you need something, what is the first store that comes out of your mouth? Like, what's the first grocery store? What's the first grocery store plus, meaning Target, Walmart, one of these bigger stores? When you say, I need to go to Target, oh, that's a specific. I need to go to Walmart. I need to go to Costco. I need to go to Kroger.
Need to go to Menards. Need to go to Home Depot. Need to go to Lowe's. Yeah.
Right?
Got to go to
How?
Bongar's. Got to go to Tractor Supply. You have a very specific list. Yeah, I agree with that.
I need to
I
go to
agree with you
CVS,
completely.
Walgreens. I need to go to Rite Aid. I need to go to Dwayne Reed. I need to go to Pathmark. I need to go to wherever. Right?
So here's
So,
the non-hypothetical side of that.
all right,
How did they? How did Target become Target? Visibility,
visibility, marketing,
visibility,
delivering.
which is a huge component of why we built the show, because we believed that, and still believe, I shouldn't say put it in past tense. We believe that everybody needs to see you. Not just your market. Everybody needs to see you. They need to see your passion. They need to see how hard you're working. They need to see why you're doing what you're doing, why you're digging in, why you're wanting to make so much impact, why you're influencing, why it's important that you change lives. And they need to see that it's also okay that you make a good, solid living for you and your family while doing it. And we just believe that that visibility is the component that gets you to that point. You know, we want you to be Kleenex. We want you to be Band-Aid. We want you to be, what any other, I mean, pick your deal. Like that's where we're at with this. That's why we built it. And that's why we brought on all the coaches that we did.
Right. And while we're on this topic, visibility, we want you to become more visible if you're in that space. Any kind of transformation, right? Click the QR code below or go to www.total-disruption.com, www.total-disruption.com. Click on the battleground, click on the guild, click on
Apply to be a contestant. We are absolutely running for season 2 and season 3 right now. Looking to book those out, and we want to tell your story. We want to show
basically limited.
you want to show the world to you. Actually, we want to show you to the world.
Yep, and you're not gonna want to miss this opportunity, and it's not open for everybody, right? You got to qualify. So it starts with initiative, and the initiative is you taking action, clicking the QR code below Jake, and or going to our website. So, what in our last moments here, right? When we really talk about putting it all together, I can't believe some of the struggles, man. I didn't even know what the heck I was getting into because you and I have a show, right? But when we had production deadlines and we had to get things edited and we had to get things produced, boy, it was fatiguing in a good way. Positive fatigue was a good thing for me. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what I knew, and I definitely don't know anything by the end of this thing. And kudos to the production team for putting together a show. Kudos to our contestants for sitting through it, and kudos to our coaches, and kudos to our audience. Most importantly, when you're that's what all about peeling back. When you're doing things to try to tell a story on television, not only are you trying to tell, we had 5 this season, you're trying to tell 5 stories. Then you're trying to tell some coach stories. Then you're trying to have people tell their own story. All that soup gets boiled into a mix. That's like a giant intellectual content soup. And we had a vision, and it sometimes we met that vision, and sometimes we had to deviate, right? I mean, one of my favorite things about filming is pace. And when you don't understand, when you're putting out a show and you're you're doing the sort of, okay, you record some episodes, you put them up, put them out, and you're keeping pace. You don't have the whole entire season done before it even airs, because in some cases you want to be relevant with your content, and you want to be relevant and topical at the time. You don't want to just be all pre-recorded and miss a bunch of information. And there's a better element to having being live. I just appreciated the pace. I mean, the weeks just clipped by. I looked forward to the recordings. Uh, it was definitely demanding for sure. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, we knew it was going to be hard, but to your point, it was a good hard. And I'll kind of close this out with this: is I quote him all the time. His name's Dr. Elko, and he wrote a book called Choose Your Hard. And we chose this hard. And the example of what he talks about is he talks about being broke is hard, being rich is hard. Choose your hard. Being sick is hard. Being healthy is hard. Choose your hard. Same thing goes for here. Being invisible is hard. Being visible is hard. Choose your hard. You want to be seen or not? And that's exactly what we did with this season. And we had to choose this hard in order to do it because we believed in it. We believe in it, and we're going to keep going. That's the point of this: is we're going to keep doing it because we believe in it, and we're choosing that hard, and we're choosing it for you.
Yeah, and we love it, and we're super stoked about taking you on these entrepreneurial journeys, taking you on our journey, taking you on the stories, showing you, the people, the message, the impact, the change, the transformation, showing you everything. I mean, it's second to none. No one's been doing this. Oh, it's like this. Oh, it's like that. Oh, no, it's not oh this or oh that. It is what it is. And And as you follow along and you go down these roads and you see these people and you start to like love them or hate them and you root for them, right? You say, man, I really wish, we had to keep neutral, right? We made comments along the way. We had to keep neutral despite, because I liked everybody after a while. It humbled me, right? It allowed me to take two steps back again, as coaching always does. I always find you're taking two steps back. Don't judge anybody. I mean, don't judge anybody based on their industry, based on the way you feel about them. You got to let them sink or swim. And if anything, over that 3 month period, a lot of people showed me they're coachable. You could bring a lot out of somebody. And once you tap into the alignment, there's that lightsaber moment. This unstoppable beam of light that can cut through anything.
And you're gonna definitely see that in this season. So you're gonna see it every Tuesday and Thursday, 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, because I felt like saying Mountain Time today. 5:30 Mountain Standard Time on E360 TV. You can catch it on our Facebook page. You can catch it on our website. And you can catch it on demand on E360 TV. And coming soon, you're going to catch it on demand on just about anything else you can stream it on. So we're super excited to be on this journey with you. And for my esteemed colleague, Mike Libercci, the Mike Libercci, it's your turn to disrupt.